Hello, and welcome to episode 10 of the Collect Your Life Incorporated podcast. My name is Janessa Henderson. I am the CEO and founder of Collect Your Life Incorporated. We are so glad that you decided to join us. We are not on Facebook Live today because this is a bonus episode. So you don't see my face, but I will put this on Facebook or put this in our YouTube. It'll, of course, be on Apple Podcasts. It'll be available on Spotify. We are just so thankful that you decided to come and tune in with us today. Today won't be long. It's just a bonus episode, so it's only going to take a few minutes just to talk about this topic. So as I was praying in worship in a meditation mode, and being intentional about that and what the next topic would be, it was dropped in my spirit that I need to talk about this topic and to go ahead and slide it in as a bonus episode, so to speak. So, with Collect Your Life, if you've been watching us, we're a bi-weekly podcast. If you've been watching or listening to us on Apple or Facebook or Spotify, you know that we are a bi-weekly podcast. The main reason for that being is because I'm a single mother and I do the live podcast on days that I don't have my daughter, where she's like with her dad. So I'm not having to fight Cocomelon in the background, or like try to make sure I'm being a mother. So I do it on the days that, the weeks that she's with him. So it was easier to do that. But as we're going into the new year, there may be times where we won't be live on Facebook, but there will be an episode. It's just the way life happens and just how the Lord leads. So I'm just going with the leading of the Lord through this podcast. So just bear with us. Just be on the lookout. Follow our Instagram. Follow our Facebook. Follow us on everything. So you'll just be in the know of when we'll have a new episode or when you'll see a new episode. We really appreciate your support. So getting to the topic that was laid heavy on me, forgiveness. I don't know why this has been so heavy on me, but I think one reason being is as we are getting into a new year, getting into the groove, and a lot of people are expecting, they're in a season of expectancy. They believe that there's going to be, a great awakening. There's going to be, I wouldn't say a great awakening, but there's going to be so many blessings and overflow as people, that's what, people are relying on and praying for, which is awesome, which is, those can come to pass. But I heard this as clear as day, and I made a post on it in the Collect Your Life page, where it strictly said that forgiveness is needed for forward progression. Like, if you want to move forward, you have to forgive. And if you stay in unforgiveness, you're stunning your own growth in every aspect of your life. And let me tell you, where I had to collect my life was in forgiveness. Like, I had to forgive people who weren't sorry and still haven't apologized and still haven't, changed and still haven't owned up to what they actually did. I had to forgive. Why? Because it was a part of my healing process. It was a part of me moving forward. There would be no Collect Your Life Incorporated if I hadn't forgiven some people that wronged me in the past, or that did me wrong, or had to look over past traumas or past relationships or past friendships and just be like, I forgive you. I understand that you're no longer getting access to me, and me forgiving you doesn't mean that there's a reconnection, but I forgive you because I am forgiving you because I want to be free. I want to feel the freedom of being actually in the presence of God and not having to stress about, that person wronged me and I'm still holding that against them. I also had to learn that generational curses are real. I'm saying that because unforgiveness and grudge holding was strong in my family. And so I would see that and I would be like, well, why don't you just, talk to them? I'm not going to talk to them until they do this. This is like what I'm constantly hearing growing up on in different levels, like in different, rooms, like grandma, great grandma, like all these people. And it was a generational stronghold. So I had to say to myself, I said, I don't want that. I don't want to be like that. I saw that as a child, how unforgiveness and holding grudges did. And I was like, I'm not going to be like that. And guess what? I'm not. Like, yes, things will hurt. We're human. You're gonna be, things, especially if, for example, say that you and a friend have been friends for 20 plus years and they do something that kind of, rubs you the wrong way. Yes, you're right. And you're rightfully so to feel you're justified in your hurt and your offense and to feel how you feel. However, don't stay in that. Don't dwell in that. Forgive them and move on. Because a lot of times people are walking their emotions or what their actions or whatever they're doing is because they haven't healed from a place. And so since they haven't healed from that place, then they in turn hurt people around them. And so you have to allow the people grace, like we talked about back in episode 2. Allow the people grace. Allow yourself grace and understand that you sometimes have been difficult to be around. You sometimes have been, crazy to be around, or you've said something to someone and you have to go back and ask that person for forgiveness. So forgiveness is for you. It's not for that person. Somebody could have done the worst things to you. I promise you, I have been there. If you're listening to this and you're like, well, why should I forgive them? It is not for them. It is for you. I'm telling you what I know. Like, collect your life and forgive them. Because if you don't, you will be stuck in a place. Not physically, but you'll be stuck in a place of unforgiveness and heaviness. And it'll just be no growth at all. You're just still stuck in that place. You're still dwelling on what that person did to you. You're still dwelling on what she said or whatever. Because words hurt and people don't realize their words sting longer than a physical wound anytime. And I'll remember, and there's different levels of forgiveness. Let me say that. Because when you forgive them, then you get to a place of healing. Okay, I'm going to heal from that situation. And then sometimes you have triggers. And you'll think, I thought I forgave them. But you have to realize there's levels of forgiveness. So once you understand that there's different levels of forgiveness, now I'm at a place with people who have done wrong to me. I'm thankful by prayer, supplication, and therapy. Okay, let me put that out there. Jesus, deliverance, and therapy works. Okay, so with all those things coupled together, I'm at a place with some people I can be around. And they did the worst of things to me. Or I can still talk to them. Not giving them access to me, but I can still talk to them. But that took years, guys. That wasn't overnight. So don't try to rush your forgiveness journey, but do forgive so you can be on the road to healing. You can be on the road to deliverance. You can be on the road to growth. Because the one thing I will tell you, being stuck in that place of unforgiveness, it's not healthy to you. It's not healthy to the people around you who may be doing you correct, who may be treating you correctly. I was saying doing, but who may treat you correctly. And you're bleeding on the other people because you haven't forgave somebody in the past. That's in a relationship. That's in a friendship. That's with family. That's with a lot of stuff. Like, coupled with forgiveness, boundaries, and healing. They all go hand in hand. Yes, you forgive that person, but you may have to set a boundary where you're only talking to them or only texting them or only, you know, you set the boundary that's good for your peace and your mental health. Or maybe you forgive them, but you don't talk to them ever again. So you choose today to forgive freely. Forgiveness is the word of the day. Like, this is the bonus podcast, episode 10. We're just talking about forgiveness. You got to forgive. It hurts like crap. It hurts sometimes because you're like, they are not even sorry, God. Like, I have said this. I have remembered saying, because somebody hurt me so deep. It was somebody close to me. And I was like, why would they even say that to me? It was so hurtful. And I just felt wronged. Like, why would they even do this to me? And the Lord had to get me together because there has been times where I have slapped God in his face. I was disobedient, all type of stuff. So I had to also remember that the Lord allowed me grace. He let me see that next day. He let me live and still prosper in my moments of disobedience. So yes, the person wronged you, but you have to remember the Lord has kept you over and over again. He's let you live. He's let you thrive. Even sometimes you've been disobedient. Even sometimes you've been off his will. You weren't even in the will of God. Because let me tell you, it was times for me, okay? It was plenty times, okay? But God still allowed me to thrive in my mess because he was getting the glory. So yes, it may hurt and that person may be close to you and that person, it may feel like, wow, why would you even do that? Why would you even say that? Why would you even, all the things. I promise you, I understand. We're human and our flesh is weak and that hurts, especially if you're close. It's like the closest people can hurt you the most. So what you want to do is, in collecting your life in forgiveness, know that it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. It's okay to still cry. It's okay to not be ready yet. But don't dwell in unforgiveness. Unforgiveness is one of the reasons why sicknesses may arise in some people, because they've held on to something so long. Like, this thing, forgiveness is spiritual. It's aligned with your spirit. Because again, at the end of the day, don't dwell in unforgiveness, because you are stunning your own self in every aspect of your life. So forgiveness is needed for progression. If you want to move forward in life, if you want to make it to the next level, you have to learn how to forgive and forgive freely. And it takes a place of growth in your spirituality, in your mindset, in every aspect. In order for you to get to that level and to that point, it took me a while to get to that point. People have said stuff and done stuff. I had to understand, I'm not getting in the spirit of offense today. Let me forgive them and move on. Or bless their heart, they didn't mean it. You have to recognize the spirit, because sometimes these are spirits that are coming against you and not that actual person. It could be the spirit of manipulation or a Jezebel spirit or some other demon trying to come against you and try to bring you down and distract you. And you have to get out of offense and recognize what that is. Call it out. Pray for that person and move on and forgive. You have to. It's for your own good. It's for your good. Because all things work together for your good. So the abuse or the physical or verbal abuse hurt you deeply. The rape, the whatever it was, the words that were said against you hurt deeply. But you must forgive in order to have forward progression. So that's all we have today for our episode 10. This was just a bonus episode. Please join us for episode 11 on January 14th. We're going to be live on Facebook, so make sure you join us. And we'll eventually, of course, be uploaded to Apple and Spotify. But make sure you join us. We appreciate it. Be blessed and collect your life.